Today on Monkey Life, new lemur Al gets the once-over from the vet.
Left arm, all fine.
And it seems he's younger than first thought.
Those don't even look like old teeth.
They're not old teeth. No, no, he doesn't look old.
The Bachelor boy golden-cheeked Gibbons try out their new home for the first time.
You can gradually see them starting to get a lot more relaxed and comfortable with it, so I think they're going to have a lot of fun over the next few days.
And young Orang Awan makes a new friend as Tuan shows he's a gentle giant. Monkey World in Dorset, buried deep in the English countryside, is the largest sanctuary of its kind on the planet. The team, led by Dr. Alison Cronin, rescue and rehabilitate abused and unwanted primates from all over the world.
Smells a bit macaque in there, but yeah, we're good.
The park provides a home for more than 250 monkeys and apes from 20 different species. Today, ring-tailed lemur Al is going to have a thorough health check at the park's animal hospital. He arrived 2 weeks ago after being rescued from a house in Somerset by the RSPCA. He'd been without food for days, and his lemur companion had died. Al was traumatised, and vet Sue Thornton has now been called in to check him over. A vet check, including blood samples and x-rays, will reveal a lot of useful information, including any previous or existing injuries or health conditions which might impact on the park's other resident lemurs. And it can give an indication of an animal's age.
This vet check is probably one of the most important we do when we have new animals in that we don't know anything about their background, because often there are hidden concerns and worries that you can't tell from the animal just externally. So all of these things remain to be seen, and hopefully we'll find out the answers to all of that today.
The team have very little background knowledge about Al, so giving him an anaesthetic is too risky. Instead, he'll have gas and air through a mask, a far safer form of sedation for small primates.
We're using safe anaesthetic procedures, and of course we've got very experienced staff here, so it should be as minimal a risk as possible, but it's the only way to make absolutely certain we sort out anything that's going on with the animal over the next months or so.
Jeremy and Kate bring Al in, but Al isn't keen to leave his crate. The team know he has one obvious old injury, a misshapen tail, which is almost certainly broken. As soon as the gas takes effect, Sue wastes no time checking him over.
Left hand, left arm, all fine. He's got all his digits on his left hind. He's in good body condition, I'd say. He's got nice teeth, apart from he's missing most of his upper incisors. All right, matey.
So those don't even look like old teeth.
They're not old teeth.
necessarily.
No, he doesn't look old.
Al is younger than first thought. Sue estimates he's less than 10 years old.
OK, well, let's get him microchipped. That's it. OK. We need to weigh him and get an X-ray on that. Just see what's going on with that. 2.78.
Sue is keen to X-ray Al's broken tail. She needs to be sure there are no hidden problems causing him pain or discomfort.
He's obviously got an old break on his tail, and it might cause him problems in the long-term future, but for the moment we wouldn't do anything about it. It's perfectly stable, so he's not in any discomfort, I don't think, from that. Do you want to just take that and stick that in there, and I think we'll just wake him up.
He's waking up.
Yeah,
I don't think we have to do that.
No, OK.
It doesn't take Al long to come round, and the team work quickly to get him safely back in his crate. The health check has gone well, and the future for Al is looking more positive. But now Steph is taking him back to his bedroom so he can recover from the sedation and later rejoin his friend Kaya. Soon, the team will be able to begin introducing him to some of the park's other lemurs, and he can make more new friends. While Al and Kaya spend time together, the rest of the lemur gang at Malagasy are having a special delicacy delivered by Sharon from the primate care team. Tamarind fruits, which grow abundantly in their native home of Madagascar. To make it more interesting, she's inserted the treat into ropes, which she's hanging around their forest enclosure to encourage natural climbing and foraging behaviour.
Tamarind's actually one of their favourite foods in the wild. Some of them may have had it, but quite a long time ago. Two of our sort of newer arrivals, Kurt and Friedrich, they've been with us for a couple of years. We don't think they've ever had them before. They're certainly more enthusiastic when it comes to enrichment, and they do put a lot more effort into it, so hopefully they'll be the first ones to go in and get cracking in the shells.
The lemurs are impatient to see what's on offer.
They're very keen. We're hoping it's a bit of a challenge for them. The lemurs can be a little bit lazy sometimes. If it's not quite obvious to them how to obtain the food, they'll just walk away and give up. So we're always trying to figure out new ways to sort of get them interested. Can I have that? This tug of war now, is it, guys?
The older members of the group seem to know what the fruits are and set about tucking in. Youngsters Friedrich and Kurt soon get involved as well. Dominant female Fennel absolutely loves this fruit. In their native Madagascar, tamarinds are a keystone food for the ring-tailed lemurs. The country's prone to long periods of drought, and the pod-like fruit are sometimes their only source of food or liquid, making them quite literally a lifesaver. The lemurs have to use a range of techniques to get to the tasty fruits, stretching up, swinging, and balancing on moving ropes. Their beautiful long tails are often used for communication, but today they're showing off just how important they are for balance too. It's a good physical and mental workout for the lemur troop, working muscles they don't use every day, and it's especially beneficial for the oldies. Renton has spotted one last remaining tamarind in a basket, but when he makes a grab for it, it falls to the other side. So he gives up. Sirius, who's a little more agile, reaches down and takes the prize. Hard luck, Renton. Al and Kaya might be missing out on all the fun today, but soon Al will be able to meet all these new companions and explore this beautiful and exciting forest home. The past few months have seen a lot of changes for the park's golden-cheeked gibbon families. The youngsters, now grown up, have been paired together to form new groups. For Mikado and Tia Nang, it's been a life-changing event. The couple now live in a brand new purpose-built home in France. And here, in a first for the park, two young male adults, Zach and Tio, have been introduced and gone on to form a Bachelor gibbon group. They too have a new home. In the last few weeks, their outside enclosure has undergone a complete renovation. The old tent-like structure is gone, and the roof is now all one height, giving the gibbons a lot more space high up where they love to be. And there are plenty of hoses and long drop-downs for them to swing around. Today the pair are going to try it out for the very first time.
Both the boys are really young, they're full of energy, they're always on the go, and what we really want to do is try and simulate a lot of the really strong acrobatics that you would see with gibbons in their natural environment. They will travel huge leaps, they will just get really, really quick. So what we've done is we've tried to make it really spacious, we've got the hosing quite far apart, and we've also put in some of these amazing drop downs. They actually go right from the roof all the way down to the floor, and that's like an 8-metre drop. So we're really hoping that the guys will show off some of their natural acrobatics skills and have a great time.
And the boys don't disappoint, bounding out of the tunnel and heading up high. Zach, a year older than Tio, is a more dominant and confident individual. He immediately starts to explore his new surroundings, testing out the hoses and the new roof. Tio, on the other hand, is a bit more cautious. The new enclosure is a little more daunting for him, but he grew up in a huge tree-filled enclosure with his parents, Peanut and Peng Yo, and his confidence soon returns as he starts to travel around the outside area. It's a promising start by both Gibbons. And they've worked out the hanging feeders, with Tio grabbing a slice of apple.
Gradually they've started to actually explore some of the new furniture. They're a little bit slow and tentative at the moment, as they're obviously finding their hands and where they can actually fly around. But you can gradually see them starting to get a lot more relaxed and comfortable with it. So I think they're going to have a lot of fun over the next few days.
Zach and Tio aren't the only new pairing loving life together. Kat is delighted with reports from France that Mikado and Tia Nang are getting on like a house on fire. It's been 5 months since she escorted them across the channel. In that time, their new home has been finished and the couple love spending time together outside in their island enclosure.
It makes me really happy, obviously. Whenever we have these guys here, we spend our lives with them every single day. So knowing that they're going to go off and somebody else is responsible for their care and you can't really do very much about that, it is a worry and it is upsetting sometimes to think that, you know, you're leaving them behind. But the circumstances out there are really ideal for the two of them. And so it is nice to get the feedback and see that they're doing well. And, you know, they both look incredible, healthy, and I'm really happy. So that obviously brings us joy as well.
There's no sign of the new couple becoming parents just yet, but they are forming a strong relationship. And all the signs are good that it will be successful and long-lasting. In any animal society made up of large social groups, arguments are not uncommon. They can lead to ill-tempered scuffles and the occasional accident. The park's chimps frequently demonstrate this noisy behaviour. Having a good leader like Hananya helps keep things under control. But it's inevitable that in a group with 4 males, a low ranker like Arthur gets caught up in the melee. A recent squabble resulted in him sustaining a small cut to his back. Chimps are not the most hygienic of animals, and unfortunately, the wound quickly became infected and a large abscess developed. The vet was called in to drain the abscess under anaesthetic. But this left a rather large area which needs to be kept clean to help it heal. Not the easiest task when it comes to chimps.
Their natural instinct is to pick a wound. They all will home in on him and they all want to be a part of that and groom that. It's just something that chimpanzees like to do. But obviously chimps aren't the cleanest animals. They are a little bit grubbier than some animals. And obviously they're walking outside on their knuckles, they're using their hands, walking outside in the dirt. And then obviously that's going straight into the wounds as well. So it can be difficult.
This is where the team's dedication and skill come into play. Lisa has prepared a saline solution to clean Arthur's wound.
Calm yourself down, please. Arthur!
Using clicker training, Arthur has been taught to present his back to the staff for treatment.
All the way. Turn around. Turn around.
The training allows Lisa to apply the saline via a syringe. It should flush out any dirt and bacteria from the wound, keeping it nice and clean. Hopefully, this process will allow it to heal properly.
Good boy. Having a wound like this on Arthur really shows how important it is that we keep up with our training with the chimps, particularly when it comes to things like topical treatments of wounds. If we didn't have a good relationship with Arthur, if he wasn't good with his training, if we didn't keep up with his training and didn't desensitise him to things like topicals, like having saline put onto his skin, we wouldn't be able to treat it, and that basically leaves it open for that to then get infected again. We wouldn't be able to treat it as well. Turn around.
Lisa is flushing Arthur's wound twice a day. Keeping it wet will allow it to heal slowly rather than scabbing over quickly and risking another infection.
The wound looks great now. That may sound a little bit weird because it's not particularly nice to look at, but It's all really nice, clean tissue. You can see lots of granulated tissue there. We can see the new tissue starting to grow. And it's a nice, healthy pink colour, and that's what we're looking for. It's reducing in size every day. The more it heals, the better he is with it. So I think at the moment, the only sign really that shows us that he knows he's still got the wound is he pulls any wood wool or anything that gets stuck to his back off. But other than that, he's very happy at the moment again.
The team will probably have to continue caring for Arthur's wound for a little while longer. But the treatment looks like it's working, and he should completely recover. In the meantime, it hasn't put him off his stride, something his little playmate Thelma is grateful for. The team constantly evaluate the quality of life of all the primates in their care. It's not simply about their health and diets, but also involves their relationships with the other animals sharing their lives. Sometimes it becomes clear a move to another group might be for the best. In the past few weeks, there's been lots of comings and goings at the orangutans. Roro has recently joined the gang at the Orang Nursery, where she's met the 4 youngsters: Jin, Sylvester, Bulu Mata and Rika. While Roro made herself at home in the nursery, young Awan and adopted mum Xiao Kuai headed in the opposite direction. They joined male Tuan and his 2 females, Armei and Lucky. Introducing fully grown adult males to youngsters can be tricky, but this time the team didn't need to worry. Tuan seems to be quite taken with little Awan, and the feeling is mutual. The pair are spending hours playing together. Tuan is a lot larger, with massive hands, but that hasn't fazed Awan. At 5 years of age, she's a happy, confident and independent little orang. But like all youngsters, she does occasionally look to mum for a reassuring hug. The move appears to have given Tuan something of a new lease of life. He's thought to be more than 30 years old and isn't the most active animal at the best of times. But Awan is definitely keeping him on his toes. It seems the move has been good for everyone. And it's certainly brought out the orang's playful side. It's been a week since Paddy, one of the park's most iconic figures, passed away. He died in his sleep of natural causes, and since then, the group have been trying to come to terms with the loss of their alpha male.
Everything's quieter, everything's a little more circumspect, and they're not quite as lively as they used to be a week ago. So, yeah, there's definitely an effect from Paddy going, and I would say they're experiencing a form of loss and upset emotionally by losing their leader, but the group is so important. I guess that's what's most important for the chimpanzees and is the basis of everything we do here at the park, is their group, is everything. And now what they have, even with Paddy going, is each other.
One individual who seems to have taken the loss hard is Bixa, the oldest chimp in the park, who's just about to turn 40. She's one of the more dominant females and was a firm favourite with Paddy. But since his death, she's been extremely quiet, spending a lot of time on her own. The group has no natural successor to fill Paddy's shoes. His son Bart, at 10 years of age, is too young and still to develop into a fully grown, imposing male chimpanzee. Having grown up amongst all these females, who are effectively his aunts, they might find it hard to accept him as their alpha male. That leaves just 3 other boys, 2 of which are part of the original group of 9 that arrived at the park with Paddy in 1987. Buster, who is now 37 years old, and Mickey, slightly younger at 35. And finally, 26-year-old Gamba. All 3 were a great support and backup to Paddy, but have never shown any real inclination to become leader of the group. Fortunately, there are 2 sets of very strong females who can step up to the mark and hold things together for the time being. Cindy, Beth and Zoe, who came to the park with Paddy 30 years ago, and Clin, Grisby and Kathy, who arrived just 3 years later. Whatever happens, it's a problem that will need solving.
It's left a huge hole in this group, and with far-reaching implications for the old and young alike. Is there somebody that can fill Paddy's shoes? I don't know. So we're gonna have to sit and think long and hard about whether or not there's a good individual to take over this group. I think actually the ladies, I got Cindy down here looking at me right now. Cindy and all of the other ladies would actually really appreciate, I think, a new, beautiful, dominant male. But that comes with all sorts of risks and considerations, not only for the ladies, for the new dominant male, but also for Bart, and whether Bart will accept a new male in his life and whether a new male would accept Bart even being there. It's a big decision. Paddy's left a big hole.
With no obvious leader to fill that gap, the answer may lie in the Bachelor's group next door. Whatever their future, only time will tell where Paddy's group goes from here. Next time on Monkey Life, a new baby Woolly, but it looks like the care team will have to be Mum.
It's almost the exception to the rule that you can never get them to take them back again. It does happen sometimes, but really, no.
Plus, ring-tailed lemur Al gets to meet some of the gang.